Okay, so I'm going to show you the backstage of what's going on for Dreaming of Whales. So hopefully everybody got a chance to open up the link that's on Blackboard. This is a show I created probably about 5 or 6 years ago. And there are all sorts of moving parts. It's chaos backstage when I perform this because it's just me. And I really need 8 arms. But this is how I did it. I didn't put the water up. The water was actually on a little pulley system so that I could pull it up with one hand while I had the other hand free. Wiley, we do not need you. Rule number 1, lock your cats in a room before you do these things. Okay, so the last scene, when the boat goes up over the bed, I have this crazy little contraption, and it's moving up slowly like this, and then it gets caught on these magnets that are on the side. So then I have to gently remove the hook, and then I take a stick with a magnet and I grab the boat, and then the boat goes off. And then I take the other end of this stick and I pull the head up. And I have these little stoppers here so that the head can't fall all the way over, and it also can't go below the pillow. So it's just, I have a place to grab onto here. And then I'll just take that down for now. I'm not going to really show you these in any order, but this is the person on the tail of the whale, and I just have one leg. The stick is attached to one leg so that it can move back and forth, and it looks like both legs are moving. And then I have her arms move so that her head can come up as she swims across. And let's see, this is the scenery. So I made the scenery so that it would tuck into the frame. And I don't know if you noticed in the show, but the person is watching the scene underwater, and the whale has taken her, even though he's knocked her over and it looks like she's gonna die, he actually takes her to an amazing place, and she sees all of these amazing things. So these seahorses are made of a heavy clear plastic with hot glue on them, and I think these are actually, let's see, I usually do them this way so you can see the hot glue on them, and then they've got fishing line and little pieces of plastic on them. And I thought that they were gonna be clear but also illuminated through them, but it actually just makes a sort of gray figure, and they kind of fade in and out. And the jellyfish is just made out of the bottom of a soda bottle, and then I attached another larger ring to it, and then it's just got this flowy plastic on it. Now, I don't actually have the right light for this right now. I have a halogen lamp that keeps things in better focus for parts of this, but I liked how the bottom of the bottle really shows up this little lit geometric pattern. So let's see, what else is in the underwater scene? So this guy has a plexiglass eye that catches the light so that it really glows, and he's kind of communicating with the person. And just kind of pulling what's on top. So when I do the show, the puppets have to be very carefully layered so that they're in the right order. So this is the figure falling out of bed, and she is jointed, like every joint that can move moves. So I have to, and at one point I'm having to twist her just with one hand as she falls. And these little joints have little strings on them that keep them from, so the knee can't bend the wrong way. So that little string keeps that from bending, and that was a real pain to make, but it was worth it because she really works for that scene. And let's see, the whale where she's inside the stomach, I pinned a puppet so that it's really attached in the middle, and I can just sort of make, so this was the original puppet that was falling out of the bed, and then I decided that I was trying to use her for both scenes, and I decided I really needed to have something attached here. And I use a different kind of lamp when I pull the whale in and out to make it larger, and the other lamp keeps it in focus. This one doesn't work, and I think the other one's at school. And so I've actually drawn on plastic on this with a Sharpie marker, so it has this sort of washed out feeling that I wanted to get. And just I'll show you a couple of whales. Like every time a whale comes in from a different side, it has to be a different whale because the sticks have to be on the other side. And I was trying to give myself notes on the whale, but that didn't really work. I just had to memorize when everything came out. And the little rowboat, so I have a stick attached to the boat and a stick attached to the person, and then the row is attached right where I wanted it to be, so that it gives the full motion, and then the figure can lean back and put her weight into it. And then I sort of move her along so that it looks like the boat is on the water. And there is the whale rider, if I can pull her out from under the seahorses here. So she is actually attached and has sort of like a little saddle that she sits in, and I basically don't touch the stick for her when I'm making her move, and then in the end I can pull her out as the whale swims off, and then I can turn her. And for some reason the tape is a little odd right now. She's falling from the screen. So then she twirls down, and let's see, what else? I may have shown you everything. Well, I have the open mouth whale. So this one I put some fabric on the bottom because it comes up from the bottom, and it would be very easy for a crack of light to show, which would really ruin the effect. So I have this fabric there, and then the whale opens its mouth, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to leave that there, and then the person swims out of the mouth, and then just well, what does she do? She goes like this, and then she does a little loop and goes off. And I think that is about it. So to figure out, when I first made this, I thought, okay, I've made all of these characters, but now I can't do it because I need 8 arms to do this. But I finally figured out what I could be doing with one hand while I'm doing something else with another hand, but it was pretty tense to perform it. But I performed it, I don't know, about 5 different venues, I think, and it was a lot of fun, but it's an awful lot of work. Anyway, that's how these trick puppets work.